It must be the 7th day, because holy shit is there light. Alright, so I was watching the videos that I made, not while editing them, I was actually just watching them, and I realized, oh wow, they're pretty dark. Thought I sit at an angle, as you can tell, I'm not super into proper posture, so I sit slightly at a downward angle looking up at my computer. Beep, boop, boop, bop. Everything just looks dark tinted. Darkly tinted, whatever. So I didn't think anything of it. I just thought that's the angle. Then, yeah, walk by. I was just standing watching a video. I was like, wow, it's kind of dark. So I went, I tested this out, got a nice light. It's marketed as the world's least stable light. At one point, it may just fall into the camera. At least I'll have evidence that it wasn't me. I mean, I'm not even near it, so if it falls, you'll know it is the world's most unstable light. Saved it. Anyway, that's that. Hopefully you can see my pretty face. And, let's just talk about tennis now. So, this is the third round predictions. I'm going to talk about the second round matches from the first half of the draw that happened not yesterday, but the day before. And a bit yesterday, because morning. Anyway, Novak Djokovic, the 1 seed, took out Francis Tiafoe in 4 sets. Tiafoe did a lot better than I gave him credit for, with 2 tiebreaker sets in the match, winning one of them. Excusez-moi. I had some Honey Nut Cheerios, so my heart is healthy. Novak Djokovic gets to go up against Taylor Fritz, who beat Riley Opelka. Now, I think that Tiafoe has already... I think the result from the Tiafoe match will be better than the result from the Fritz match. I think Fritz really struggled against Riley Opelka. I know Opelka's a 7-foot-tall monster of a person who can move and serve, and it's just scary. So I know that that's hard, but he didn't do as well as I was expecting. 5-set match, it was close, 30 games won for Fritz, 27 to Opelka. Now he's going up against Djokovic, who Tiafoe I thought Tiafoe might push a tiebreak, might get a close set. To get into 2 tiebreaks and to win one of those tiebreaks against Djokovic, really nice, especially second round. You know Djokovic is feeling good. Great job, Tiafoe. Unfortunately, I don't think Fritz will do as well. He's played in 100 games total so far in 2 rounds, where Djokovic has only played in 68. So his legs are a little tired. He's going in against the number 1 seed. I just don't see it really going Fritz's way. I think a nice 3-set match. That's the only walk-away match. Now we get into Martin Fucsovics, who beat Stan Wawrinka. Real big upset there. I mean, Fucsovics did take out some big names, I think, at the U.S. Open and did well at the French Open. So, while upsetting, not super surprising. Fucsovics is known to take out these names, and he's a hard-hitting player. Really hard-hitting. His forehand is terrifying sometimes. But across 2 matches, he's played in 98 games, won 54 of them, and he's going up against the 14th seeded Milos Raonic. Tall Canadian, only played in 63 games, so again, he's got the leg advantage and the seed advantage. So I think it'll go Raonic's way. Raonic has done well at the Australian Open. He does well at the U.S. Open, I think. He's a solid player as long as he can get into a groove. But if he gets out of it, or if I was going to say Martinez, Fucsovics can get inside Raonic's head and kind of throw him off a bit, I think that's going to toss the match, especially for someone who's a king killer like Fucsovics. So we'll see. I give the edge to Raonic, and I hope that it's, I think maybe a 4-set match. I don't think it'll be 5 sets. That'd be good for Fucsovics. He'd be super tired, but I think it's a 4-set match here, and I got Raonic taking it. Now we gotta get on to a double upset. We have Pedro Martinez taking out Rusev. Emil Rusev, I think. He's Finnish. Martinez did really well. This is the most I had seen him play. He hits the ball hard. He's a two-handed backhand heavy hitting player, and I understand why he's won both his matches fairly easily. Across 2 rounds, he's played in 71 games, and he's going up against Lajovic, who's played in 95 games total. So, leg advantage by a little over 20 games. And Lajovic has had not easy rounds, but he had a qualifier in Stokowski, where in the first round Martinez had Nishioka, who technically is a higher ranked player, I believe, than Martinez, but both close around the same area in the draw. Then he gets Rusev, much higher seed. I think Rusev is right around 40, where Martinez is 70s maybe. And then Bublik, another 50s player maybe, was Lajovic's second round, where the qualifier Stokowski I think is just outside the top 100. So Lajovic has had the easier round, and he's going up against someone who's done well against tougher opponents. So I think Martinez is going to get the edge on that one, take out the 23 seed Lajovic. Now, Adrian Mannarino, the 32 seed, beat Kecmanovic in the second round in straight sets, nice and easy. He's played in 56 total games across 2 matches, and he goes up against the 6 seed Alexander Zverev, who has had a tough first round match in something Giron. I want to say Marty Giron, but I'm probably thinking of Marty Biron. He's a commentate from the Buffalo Sabre. He's really good. Anyway, Zverev, I give the edge, even though Mannarino he's a tough player, 32 to 6 seed, so not a huge gap, but still not, I think Zverev is going to have the edge. He's had a lot more experience in the last 4 years playing at this level, where Mannarino is kind of floated at the bottom of tournaments, kind of stuck in the first, second rounds, and he usually loses it right around here. So this is either going to be Mannarino's year to kind of turn things around, but I think that's a tough draw in Zverev. I think Zverev is experienced enough to be able to stay focused and push through. I don't think he'll flake. He does have a tendency to kind of flake out in tough matches, but I don't think this will be one of them. Now we have Dominic Thiem in the first match of the second quarter of the first half. Very fun. Of the draw, and that's the first half because that'd be less matches. I'm slowly getting my sentences figured out here. Dominic Thiem beat Koepfer, the German, in straight sets, nice and easy. 6-4, 6-love, 6-2, and he goes up against Nick Kyrgios, the Australian who beat Hugo Humbert in the second round. 5-set match. They both won 27 games. It was only a 2-point difference, 162 points for Kyrgios to 160 points for Humbert. And those 2 points it sounds like they can be accredited to the crowd, which never exciting to hear that the crowd was the differential in a match, especially with a Kyrgios type. Kyrgios is someone that I don't really like seeing go far in matches because he doesn't really promote the right style of tennis. He's really talented, and he can be really fun to watch. But he also makes rules about himself and tries to make himself the victim in just about every situation that he puts himself in, which is I just can't stand him. And he is he's super talented. He just has no drive and doesn't want to win. I don't know what his mental block is. If it's a winning thing, if it's a effort thing, not too sure. But not too excited to see him get into the third round over Humbert. Young player, French, and he's 29th seed. Especially going up against a big name like Kyrgios in Australia, to push it to 5 sets and then have the crowd cheer your double faults. I mean, it's tough. I'm not going to say that they shouldn't do that. I mean, they shouldn't do that, but it's going to happen. You're at a major event. The U.S. Open is rowdy as hell. I guess I'm not really swearing. Word for later. We're going to... the U.S. Open is rowdy. The Australian Open is rowdier, but usually it's something that you can silence pretty easily with a big point. But it sounded, I didn't watch much of the match, so I don't know what actually happened. I saw little clips. It seemed mostly like they were just a little too excited for Kyrgios. I didn't see too many situations where I was like, that's, it's not like disgusting and stuff like that. It just seemed like a bad Australian crowd, which happens. It happens almost every year. It's just unfortunate that it was with Kyrgios and Humbert. So Thiem should walk over pretty easily on that one. Maybe a 5-set match, but I really doubt it. I don't think Kyrgios is willing to put in 5 sets against Thiem. Grigor Dimitrov, the 18th seed, going up against the 15th seeded Carreño Busta. Both won. Oh no, sorry. Dimitrov won in straight sets. Carreño Busta won in 4. And actually a pretty close match against Yuri Vesely. Carreño Busta won 21 out of 40 total games, so nice and Evie across the board. Nice and even across the board there, but I'm not too surprised. Carreño Busta is a really tough player, and it looks like the closeness in games is mostly because, yeah, he lost a set 6-2. Just surprising, but it was a middle set right after a tiebreak, so maybe Vesely was just mad. I didn't see any of the match, so I have no idea. But kind of an odd drop set to lose 6-2 and then win the rest like 6-3, 7-6, 6-4. So we'll see how he does. Dimitrov has won straight sets in his first 2 rounds and only played in 59 games total. So Dimitrov has the legs. He's a little bit older than Carreño Busta, but he has experience. He's a one-handed backhand. He used to be a flair player, but now he's focused more on strategy and actual development in the game. So, and that's, I say flair, back when he was like, maybe like 6 years ago, he's a flair player. He's changed his strategy quite a bit. So I think Carreño Busta has the edge. He is higher ranked. They are at 18 to 15, so it's essentially the same rank. But I give it to Carreño Busta just because he recently has been doing better in these matches. Third round, he's almost always gotten near round of 16 or quarterfinal. So I like to think it's Carreño Busta taking it easily, but this is probably going to be a 5-set match here. Another 5-set match is Shapovalov and Auger-Aliassime. Big Canadian matchup here. 11th seed in Shapovalov against the 20-seeded Auger-Aliassime. Both won in straight sets. This is the one I was going to say. Both won straight sets. Very close, 18 to 6 total games for Shapovalov over Tomic, and then Auger-Aliassime over Duckworth, 18 to 7. So efficient game plays. They're both young players, so they both have legs. The total games are 70 for Shapovalov to 51 for Auger-Aliassime. So Auger-Aliassime does have the advantage technically, but they're both young enough that I don't see legs being the differential in this match. They're head-to-head. I'm pretty sure Shapo leads, but I didn't really look that one up. I figured this would be a fun one just to watch completely blind, go into it and see. This is my first matchup of the two of them playing against each other, so it'll be really fun to see just a raw head-to-head. I give the edge to Shapo for rank. He's a little bit older. He's seen the tour a little bit more, and by like a year. It really isn't that big of a difference, but it's enough, I think, in my book. And he's a lefty one-handed backhand. That almost always trumps. The spin can really throw off the game, so I think his spins are going to be enough to take it over Auger-Aliassime. Now, this is the weirdest match. Gerasimov against Karatsev. Gerasimov took out Benoit Paire in the first round, and Karatsev was a qualifier who took out Major. Closely seeded match there for Major and Karatsev. But then, you know, Karatsev's taken on someone who just took out a seeded player. Gerasimov took out number 25 Benoit Paire. So you expect it to be a tough grinder match. I think I even said it was going to be, they're both close in rank for a second round. They're both going to want it. I thought it was going to be close. Well, Karatsev was like, go. I want to tune you for this one because this is going to be aggressive at someone. Go fuck yourself. And beat him 6-love, 6-1, 6-love. 18 games for Karatsev, 1 game for Gerasimov in a 3-set match. So I thought, no matter what, Diego Schwartzman was the opponent here. Diego Schwartzman took out Mueller, the lucky loser, handily. Again, I thought this was going to be the easiest match of the tournament. Diego Schwartzman won 6-2, 6-love, 6-3. Nice, easy, 18-5 total games. And then he's going up against the... I'm pretty sure these are the two highest disparity matches. You have 13 in Schwartzman and Mueller. Yeah, and you have, oh my god, 18-1. I mean, 18-1 is definitely the biggest win. And yeah, Diego Schwartzman was the biggest win up until that happened. So, two tough players. Diego Schwartzman is he's a small player, so I know that style of game well. And he's developed it so well over the last few years. He's played against Nadal, Djokovic. He's seen a lot of experienced players, and he's gained a lot of he's beaten Nadal on clay before. He has beaten Ferbs, man. So I think he has the shot. He definitely has the advantage, and he can do it. I just have no idea how Karatsev plays. Apparently, he can just pull incredible matches out from his ass. Almost messed up. And he's a qualifier. Like, that, he could be coming from anywhere. He might just not play tennis, and he could be an Australian who's just jumping in for fun. I doubt it with a name like Karatsev. But he could be. He could be just some local guy who's like, no, I'm going to fuck up this tournament. There's a lot now in candy keys, coins, everything. So, while Schwartzman's the 8th seed against a qualifier, I can't see this as a clear-cut match. I think Schwartzman has enough cons in this match that it could be close. But I'd like to think Schwartzman's going to take it. I'm going to say a 5-set match. I think Karatsev has the legs, and Schwartzman has the heart. So I think it's going to be a tough match, but I am going to give it to Schwartzman in the long run. Oh, man, I just realized, yeah, I bet on that match. Good for all them for making it into the third round, and let's just hope they can continue. At least the ones that I chose can continue. All the other ones, feel free to lose. Nick Kyrgios, by all means, don't even show up. That won't happen, though. We all know it's in Australia. Of course he's coming. He's going to play hard. That's going to be... I'm going to watch, just so I can say it on camera, I guess, the matches I'm going to be watching. Fucsovics, Raonic, Thiem, Kyrgios, Shapovalov, Auger-Aliassime. Those are big three. I couldn't watch Karatsev Schwartzman. That would just give me anxiety the whole match. Carreño Busta, Dimitrov, probably the same thing, but it's not one of those I don't care situations. That's not the right way to say it. Because I would much rather have Carreño Busta in the final, but either one of them, I'd like both of them as players. It'd be fun to have, I guess the storyline's exciting either way. Carreño Busta is just a tough, hard-nosed player. It'd be great to have him in another round of 16, or 4th round, whatever we're at. But at the same time, Dimitrov has had a really up-and-down career. I don't think he's won any majors. I don't even think he's been in a major final. So just to have him push in and continue to go far this late in his career, I don't even know how old he is. 30 maybe? It's just exciting to see. So it's not to say I don't care either way, but that's a fun match regardless of the winner. So I'll watch the result. I'm not really going to watch that match. That'll be a highlight match. But yeah, those are the big matches I'll watch. Djokovic and Fritz is going to be a joke, unfortunately for Taylor Fritz. It would be exciting for that to be wrong, but don't see that being the case. Okay, so that was I'm caught up. It's craziness that's going on right now, and best of luck to everyone playing in the tournament. You got a fan who's not playing. What the fuck does that mean? I don't know.